Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. So tonight I actually bought a light box from Amazon, and I thought tonight what I'll do is I'll walk you through how I use the light box to light. I've got an object, so that object I'm going to use tonight is a small car. But what I want to try and do is share with you how to do focus stacking. So if you want to do macro photography, or you even want to do product photography and you want that real detail, so join me and let's see where this journey takes us tonight. So I bought the Douglas photography light box off Amazon. I think it was only about £25–30, so it wasn't a lot of money, but it does come with an internal light. It's USB driven, that's why it's plugged into the socket here. But what I thought I would do tonight is I've got a model car and I thought we'd do some macro, but what I also thought I'd share with you is how to do focus stacking, and then we'll process the image and then I'll show you the end result. So if I turn the camera on, then what you'll get to see is what I can see here. We've got the Lola T70 racing car over here. I've kind of done a wee bit of a jury rig, as you'll see. I've used some flask cups. I've got the velvety kind of placemat that the model car was sitting on. And then what we'll try and do is just make sure I've got enough width, and I'll get a side-on shot of the car first. So the other feature this box has is if you look down, you can get a top-down view, so we can look down over the car and then we can see from the top. And then what we can also do is open this door, and then it's all got reflectors around the edge, it's got reflectors around the sides, and then you get all these multiple inserts that you can use for colour backgrounds. It's pretty flexible. I've used it a couple of times, so I'm getting used to using it, and it's pretty cool actually. It's really, really helpful. Right, I'm going to get this image set up, and then I'll walk you through how I'm going to take this shot. Right, so what I'm going to share with you is I've got the car set up at f8, a third of a second, ISO 100, and I'm focusing right at the very side of the car. Now, to set the camera up so that I can do focus stacking, if I press menu and then select my camera icon, and if I go to focus bracketing and then need to enable it, select enable, and then I want to change, actually I'll leave that at 18 shots. So effectively what that's going to do is that's going to start there, right at the very edge, and take 18 shots and work its way backwards. So when you're using focus stacking, always focus from the very frontal point, because the camera will then work its way back. Right, we're going to try a different angle now. Let's go for a 3/4 frontal view, and I'm just positioning the car so that we've got quite a nice composition here. Right, that could be quite nice. So if I show you what I'm doing, so what I want to do is this point here of the car is the closest position to me. So if I move the cursor and focus in on that area, and then all I need to do now is press my button, and it will take 18 shots working its way back. And I'm just checking that back wheel's covered by the 18 shots. You should have a detailed image back to front. Right, I'm going to change the composition again, and I'm going to see if we've got any wee kind of moving features in the car, and I'll set up a different composition, and then we'll see how this image looks. Right, so for this next composition, what I've done is I've opened up the engine lid, and I've kept the camera at a 3/4 angle. But what I'll do is I'll share with you so you can see the composition that I've got. So I've got this kind of top down 3/4 angle, the bonnet or the boot lid's up, and then the engine's in the background. So if I move my focal point to the front of the car, there. And then let's give it a shot. We've got 18 shots to come. I'm just watching it progressively moving its way backwards along the back of the car. So I'm just going to check that last image just to see where we've got detail. And yes, we've got detail in that wheel. So as you can see here, I've got a lot of detail, and as I move back, we've got detail as we move forward on the tailgate. So what I'll do now is I'm going to turn the car round, and we'll go for a kind of rear facing shot, and in that way we've got a side profile, a 3/4 front profile, a shot with the 3/4 with the boot lid up, and then a shot looking at the rear of the car. So I'll get that set up and I'll share that with you. Alright, so here we have the rear of the car. I've still kept all my settings exactly the same, but this time I'm focusing at the rear of the car, just underneath where the exhausts are. So if I just press the shutter release, and let's see, alright, so if I press that and check, so that rear shot might need more images. Right, so what I will have to do now is go back to the menu, do enable, go to 18, and then maybe increase that to 28, and then try this again. I've got my focal point here, and here we go. It's going to take 28 images this time. This is going to kill my computer. I'm just watching it to make sure we get focus right at the front of the car. There we go. So if I check and come back, if I zoom in, you can just see that gradual sharpness. Right, well, what I'll do is, this is going to be interesting. This light box is absolutely brilliant. I've tried it with a couple of things, with product things. I've had shots of my son's, Sam's Warhammer figures as well, just to test it out. You've got various different colour backgrounds, and it works. It just works a treat. So what I'll do is I'll switch over to the computer and I'll walk you through how I do the focus stack. I will speed it up on the computer because I know on my computer it'll take a long time to process 18 to 28 images if it doesn't die. Anyway, let's see you at the computer. Into Lightroom, as you can see. What I'll do is I'll use this angle of the car as an example. I've already done a test run with the side view, and I'll share that picture with you as I'm talking. But what we'll do is we'll maybe get more detail from this car. So if I select all the images, so if I press number 38 for example, and then if I keep my finger down on the shift key, press select 55, which is the end of the range, and for whatever reason that's not worked, let me try that again. So if I go back to 38 and go all the way back, there we go. So we've selected the 18 images. Now all I need to do is photo, edit in. Now we open in Photoshop as layers. So if I select that, now this could take a wee while, and what I'll do is I'll keep pausing and cutting so that it gives my machine time to load everything. Alright, so it started to load the images in Photoshop, so I don't know how powerful your computer is versus mine's, but what I'll do is I'll spare you the process of Lightroom loading all my images into Photoshop. So as you can see, it's only done 3 out of the 18. Alright, so we've now got all our 18 images loaded into Photoshop. So now what we want to do is we want to highlight all the images. So if I select the top image, drag the bar down, hold the shift key and press select, I've now got my 18 images selected. I now go into edit and then do auto align, and then press OK for auto. There you go, with the magic of editing, you've now got all your 18 images auto aligned. Now what I want to do is stack these images. So if I go into edit and select auto blend, make sure stack selected. I've got seamless tones and colours, content aware, and then I'll press OK. Now you'll realise that when I uploaded the images into Photoshop, I've not edited them. So what I'll do is I'll do the edit after I've got the combined image. Alright, so now we've now got a stacked image, and as you can see, we've got sharpness from front to back, well, nearly to back actually. So what I'll do is, so maybe 18 images weren't enough, but it gives us a really sharp image from here. So what I need to do now is select the top image, select the bottom image, highlight them, and then what I'll do is Command or Control E, and that collapses them into one single image. And now we've got our final image. Right, now what I want to do is I want to edit this. Alright, so now we've got a final image. What I want to do is I want to crop it first. So I want to do a 16:9 ratio, and what I'll do is I'll just lift up. So we've got quite a nice, we still want that dark back bottom. There we go, for the velvety. After cropping, if I select my image again, and then go into filter and go into camera raw, then what I want to do then is lift. So if I go into my filters and I select subject, and then I just lift the exposure, just drop the highlights a little bit and give the shadows just a little bit of a tweak, up the whites, pull back. Yeah, I might will also give it a wee touch of texture. I might just push the clarity just a tiny bit. Right, now what I want to do is select subject again, and then what I want to do is intersect. So I'll intersect with a linear gradient, and then I drag the linear gradient up because I want the bottom half of the car to be affected here, and only the bottom half. I'll lift the exposure, I'll lift the shadows, I'll pull back the highlights, just pull that back a wee bit, and maybe increase the clarity a little bit just to give us a wee bit more definition on the front of the car. And then if I go back, I might want to add a little bit of a vignette. So in here, if I just pull that back a little bit, just darken it down, hit OK, and there we have the finished file. So what I can do now is if I do File, Export, Export As, then I want to save this as a JPEG. So if I push the slider up to high, I can see the JPEG file is 9.7. So if I increase that by 2, select Export, got my file, and if I just switch over to my hard drive, let's double check what we've got in the file. Right, there we have it, 25 meg, quick look, and there we have our detailed car. Now there's a couple of wee impurities here. So we've got dust specks there, dust specks there, a dust speck there, we've got some dust here, some dust here. So again, and we've got a wee bit of kind of material on the car there. So what we can do is you can clean that up using the remove tool if you want to. I'll just quickly show you how to use the remove tool. So select the remove tool, and then if we zoom in to here, if I click on remove, just press down and it'll remove all the impurities for us. And do you know, I actually did check if the car, it looked clean to my eye, but because of all the work that we're doing here, it's it's highlighted a lot more impurities than I thought we had. So you could spend a lot of time going over this, cleaning and tidying everything up, but as you'll see, this remove tool's pretty good and really effective in what it's doing. It gets rid of most of the specks. if I get rid of that one and that one and that one. And that's actually just the impurities in the metal, to be honest. So we could go on forever, but if I zoom out, that'll give you an idea of where we are. So there we go. That's the process that I used to photostack all those images. I'll do the remaining images because I know it's going to take a long time, and then what I'll do is I'll share these images with you, and I hope this has been helpful for you, and I hope you can try it. Well, I hope you really enjoyed that tutorial. It's quite amazing the quality of the image you can get using the right light, especially when it comes to macro photography. I don't know if your camera has the ability to do that kind of focus stacking, but hopefully by me showing you, you've learned something tonight, how to set your camera up. I know I use Canon, but you might have similar options in your menus that allows you to do. And then the other thing I noticed that other YouTube tutorials don't share with you is where to start your focal point, because people have these amazing images but you're never quite clear where to start. And I've only recently learned that you start for the very front of your image and then the camera takes it back. So I hope you liked the video. If you do, and I hope you really liked the final images that I shared with you there. But if you do, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that will let you know the next time I post a video. So thanks again for watching, and here's to the next video.